Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, how you doing? My name is Ash. I am starting out with a blank face because I want to talk to you about something important to me today. Today is my 11th anniversary of being sober and safe, and I'm going to talk about that. I'm not going to be talking about the products, but I will list everything in the description if you're interested in what products I'm using. I'm just doing a simple look today because I want to. I want to start this video by saying that I am going to be talking about sensitive topics such as self-harm, suicidal thoughts, and alcoholism. So if you don't like hearing about that, this is not the video for you. So like I said, it is 11 years of sobriety and just being safe, and that just means it's been 11 whole years since I've had a drop of alcohol and 11 years since I have done any sort of self-harm. So if you know me and you know how old I am, you know that with it being 11 years, that means I went sober 2 months after turning 21. I unfortunately developed a bad drinking habit before the age of 21. I used alcohol as a coping mechanism to kind of just drown out my thoughts, my feelings, my everything. And I would like to add that at this time of me having this alcohol problem, I was not technically dating my now husband. That's important to note because I ended up getting in a few bad relationships in between me and my husband not being together. And honestly, I can't blame the relationships for my alcohol problems. A lot of it was stemming from, you know, what else is in my head. I would just like to point that out because my husband, he was never a fan of me drinking. He had a problem with how much I was consuming, and he was one of the driving factors for me to quit alcohol. I already suffer from depression and anxiety, and drinking really exasperated my depression. So in all transparency, the reason why I actually went sober was in the November of 2012, I got really drunk and I almost myself. Not to make light of my situation, because it was like I was on the verge of doing something, and then like I had in my drunkenness, a moment of clarity, and I was like, what am I doing? And at this time I was in college on a dry campus where you couldn't have alcohol on campus, and I was just all alone, drunk in my dorm room. But anyways, I had, like I said, a moment of clarity, and I was like, I don't want to live like this anymore. I can't live like this anymore. And I went cold turkey, no alcohol. I had my now husband, Jeff, I had him get rid of all my alcohol for me. I promised him that when I was feeling low, that I would talk to him about it and not revert back to, you know, drinking. Honestly, it's a miracle that I had a drinking problem because I didn't have any money, so it's like, how did I get all that alcohol? Anyways, that's kind of a gist of what I was dealing with. Is it like the most detail I'm gonna get? No. I did some things I'm not proud of. While drunk, I made a lot of bad decisions, and now here I am 11 years later without having a single drop of alcohol. Now, I cannot say that since, you know, being sober that my depression got better. I'm gonna be honest, it hasn't. But as my husband likes to point out, I'm not as bad as I used to be. 11 years ago, I hit rock bottom. I did. And once you're at the bottom, the only way to go is up. And that's what I've been working on, is just going forward in life. I'll be honest, it's not a linear healing process. It's not like, oh, you hit bottom, so the only way to go is up. It's more like you take, you know, 2 steps forward and 5 steps back. It's a back and forth, constant battle. I will say over the years, it's gotten easier to not, in a way, crave drinking. And I think something that a lot of people can relate to is the pandemic, the lockdown, everything that has conspired since 2020 has just been kind of detrimental to everyone's mental health. I remember a night, it was in May of 2020, and I almost hit rock bottom. I remember crying to Jeff, and I don't even know, besides like the general like what was happening in the world, I don't know what exactly triggered this, but I was crying. I was like, I can't live anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. And I was crying to him and just telling him how I'm not meant to live. The day is like ingrained in my head, and it's just, I remember feeling like that and how horrible it felt to feel like that again after not feeling that way for a while. I will say I have gotten really lucky having a support system like Jeff. He has been paramount to my healing process, and I will Forever love that man. I think one of the hardest parts also about being sober was the loss of friendships. And I'm not blaming my friends that I had on us not talking, because it's a two-way street. I didn't reach out, they didn't reach out. What I'm gonna say next is not a dig at any of my former friends. This is just the reality of it. I am the type of person that is not, I've gotten better, but I'm not the type of person to kind of be an open book and just tell people things. I do have a streak of pride that prevents me from asking for help. Looking back on it, I think I did tell a few of my friends that, hey, I'm not drinking anymore, but I don't think I gave a full reason why. But I also knew that I couldn't be around alcohol. And unfortunately, when everyone should have stuck together, we all kind of broke apart. And now here I am, almost, shit, how old am I? Be 33 next year. Unfortunately, I did find out it was easier to kind of keep with my sobriety, distancing myself from people. But now I'm like in my 30s and I don't have a single friend. I found it's hard to find people to hang out with, to spend time with, that don't want to drink. That's an issue all in itself. So just thinking back to how I was in my 19, 20, 21-year-old self, I was a mess. I was a hot mess. I'm still kind of a mess, not gonna lie. It's been 11 years, and do I have my life figured out? No. I will say I have found it easier to not really think about the thoughts of alcohol over the years. It's like once I hit my 10-year mark last year, I was like, I can do this. I mean, hitting 10 years was a big milestone for me, and I will forever be proud of myself for each year that I keep to it. And I will say, for my healing process with becoming sober and no longer harming myself, that came from a conscious decision on my part that I had to heal for myself. I didn't become sober for my husband. Did he want me to be sober? Yeah, but I didn't do this for him. I didn't do it for our relationship. I did it for me. And I think that's a big part of healing, is you have to be the one to want it. And you know, if you are consciously trying to not drink alcohol and trying to better yourself, don't let anybody make you feel bad about that. I guess the main point of this is, wherever you are in your healing journey, is you're not as alone as you may think you are. And it is okay, 100% it is okay to ask for help. I spent a lot of my life thinking that asking for help is a sign of weakness, and it doesn't have to be. But do your healing because you want to, for you. Do it for yourself. You deserve to live in whatever happiness you want. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing what's good for me. I've spent way too much of my life trying to please others, trying to do what I think is right and what I think I should be doing, instead of just taking a step back and thinking, oh, what's gonna make me happy? I think the pandemic really put things in perspective for me. I need to stop focusing so much on what other people want and the what ifs and everything, and focus on instead on what I need in my life and what I think will be best for me. So I quit my job and delved headfirst into doing this social media thing, trying to become a makeup artist, and this is where I'm at. I don't know where to take this from here. I just wanted to sit down and talk about being 11 years sober and still kicking it. I think I just wanted to talk about hitting the 11-year mark and then also still being alive. I think at the end of the day, I think younger me would be surprised and proud of where I am now. It's not saying my life is exactly how I want it to be. I constantly deal with the feelings of failure and not being good enough and not having my shit together. But everybody's life is different, and I need to remember to stop comparing myself to other people my age or people younger than me that have it way more than I do. I will have my time to shine when it's my time to shine. I didn't want this to be like an overly depressing video. It's more just like a video diary for me that, hey, I made it. I'm here. Let's celebrate and get Cinnabon. I don't feel like I'm wise enough to give out any sage wisdom, but as shitty as it sounds and as over cliche it is, it does get better. Life gets better. It does. But yeah, that's my story, kinda, in a non-concise, roundabout way, because I don't know how to talk about things. Anyways, if you have any questions for me or anything that you want me to expand on, let me know down in the comments below. I'll be happy to have that conversation with you. And if you feel like you're struggling or anything, you can DM me on my socials. Everything's listed down below. I will gladly be someone that you need. If you need somebody to vent to, if you need advice on something, if you want my opinion on something, I will be happy to provide that with you if you want to. I need to wrap this up. I have been rambling on way too much. I can't believe it's been 11 years. Here's to 11 more and then some. I don't think I'll ever be at the point in my life where I want to go back to alcohol. I know how I am. I know 1 will turn to 2, and 2 to 4, and 4 to 20. I know that about myself. I can't acknowledge that. Thank you for watching. If you'd like, you can follow me on my other socials. I'm artistryxashh everywhere. And if you want book content, I am devouring bookishly on TikTok and Instagram. But other than that, thank you again for watching. I hope you have an amazing day or night whenever you're watching this, and everything will be okay. Have a great day. Bye.